Hi guys, it's Tuesday and I'm a little late. Hi guys, okay, today in Down and Dirty Woodscraft I'm going to tell you something to add to your survival kit. One of the best ways to gather a meal while we're out here in the woods is to use a fishing set. Now this has multiple use, not just for the intended purpose. You can come up with a lot of other things to do with this. But one of the most common problems that happens is when I go out there and I'm going to, hey, I've got an opportunity to fish, I don't have anything set up to fish with. So I've got to make the time to make it happen. Well, all I need is a pole of some kind, something not terrible big. So I cut me a pole, something not terrible big, 10 or 12 foot long, piece of some sort of small sapling or something like that, and I'm going to turn it into a fishing set right quick because I see an opportunity. Now, what I do with this, how should I carry the line? Let me show you that right quick. Okay, so how do you do this? I make up my lines ahead of time, and I carry my lines in the field in a small, compact way so I can then deploy it quickly and have a fishing line ready to go. And how do I carry it? Like that. Now what this is a thread bobbin that you go get. It goes onto a sewing machine. Okay, only like 3 on a card for $1. And I know you can have trouble seeing that. Let it focus in. But there's the top of the hook. The hook comes up through the center hole, so the barb hooks through one of the holes, up tight. Then I go back through the thing and I wrap my line up real tight and tie that side so I can get to it easy. So thus I have a easily transported fishing line ready to go. Now with that center hole, I can rig them up onto a bolt or something like that and have multiple lines of multiple kinds ready to go. I've done this and put 6 drop lines before onto a bolt. So I had ready to go drop lines that I could rig up at a moment's notice. Because I saw a limb like I just showed you hanging over the water that I could rig me up a line. Well, I've got the line ready to go. A hook, a small weight, 10-12 feet of line on one of these little bobbins ready to go. Now, let me show you how to attach it to the limb or the pole. And since there's no way you're going to be able to see that little bitty fishing line, I'm going to scale it up and I'm going to use bank line for it. Okay? So, first thing you do is you take the end of your line, you tie a knot in it. Then you come up, make a simple, make a loop around, go back through the hole until you have made some sort of loop. Okay? Now take the fishing line and go through the loop that you've just created like that and roll it over so that you have created a noose. Okay? Just like that. Okay? Now I'm going to take my pole and I'm going to go up here at the tip. I'm going to come back down about 1 foot from the tip. I'm going to take that loop and I'm going to put it over and I'm going to bring it all the way back down here, and I'm going to probably take my knife and make a little notch. Not big, just a small thing for the line. I'm going to pull it down until that line bites in tight into it. Okay? Now, pulling the line good and tight, I'm going to spiral it fairly closely together all the way to the top. This will transfer energy when the line wants to slip at the tip further down the pole and keeps it from just the top tip snapping off and me losing my fish. Okay, when I get up here at the top, get myself some slack, I'm going to twist it and make a loop, put that loop over. Now notice, see how the loop's laying on top? I want to twist it so that loop goes underneath, okay, so that the last wrap coming around will bind it. Okay, just like that. Now when I pull it real tight like that, Now I go in the opposite direction. I twist clockwise the first time, I go counterclockwise the second time. Yes, that basically makes a clove hitch. And I'm going to pull it tight and then go counterclockwise again. So it's clockwise, counterclockwise, and clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise. Y'all gotta forgive me, guys. We'll talk about that in a minute. Put it over it, and then I'm going to work that, pull that, squeeze that until that all bites in, just like that. Now that will not come loose, but I can, it's just a series of loops that I can unloop later on. Okay? Pull her tight, and there is my line. Now I would then run my fishing line the full length of it and start fishing. If this is the overhead limb that I want to do, this is how I attach that limb. Most people make the mistake, they just tie to the very end. Well, it puts a lot of pressure on that very tip and it may snap off. This spiraling method transfers the load further down and gives me a better opportunity to keep it from it. Should I get a good fish on there and go to fighting, it doesn't snap off so easy, and thus I lose the fish. And when I get done, all I have to do is go pick my finger till I get that tight loop to come loose. Now remember that spiral? If I go against the spiral and start unspiraling it, it'll let go of the pole. Okay? So notice I have not created any permanent knot here. Nothing that can't be taken back off. Even when Blackie isn't wearing his glasses, you know. So, come up, we take the knot loose. Twist around, bring the knot loose. Come up over the top. Slack that up over the top, slack that up, go back against the current. Bank line does this really well. I have taken bank line before and put a little bit of weight on the end of it and waxed it so it would float and use it like fly fishing line. Get down here at the end, pick it loose, and thus slide off. So I get to keep my line. Now I can take my line from my pole and be able to put it back on my reel and reuse it over and over again. This is just a simple, easy, down and dirty way to carry fishing kit in a small. Now, would this work in a survival kit? Absolutely. I've made these up at different weight lines. I've color coordinated them by making a little color or mark some kind onto my wheel so I could tell what it is. So I grabbed the line that I need at the time, and that's the one I utilize. So today is Tuesday, and it's the day that the hurricane hit Texas. For the last 3 days we've had nothing but constant rain down here on the Gulf Coast where I'm at. Just south of me at Panama City Beach, they had flooding from it. And it wasn't bad here. We never got any wind, but it was just constant rain. Little showers, little bands, but constant. And everything is soaked. And because of that, it's really delayed me getting out to do this. This is the first opportunity, the break I've had where I could get out here and do a video where it wasn't just raining, you know, heavy. I thought I was going to have to do this inside, but kept hoping. I kept seeing a window that I might be able to get out here, and here I am. Now, as a bonus little feature, why do the old guys say they can predict weather? Well, if you've had a fun and active life, you will too. Now, why do they say they can feel the weather, like hurricanes, like they just hurt me bad? It's because when you've injured yourself, maybe you didn't break a bone, but you stress fractured. That's a fancy way of saying you cracked it, but it didn't break. The pressure within our bones should be the same as our atmospheric pressure. And at sea level, that's somewhere 14, 15 pounds per pressure. Let's say PSI, but it's not exactly, but you know, pounds of pressure. Whenever a big storm comes up, the barometric pressure drops. Well, our tissues equalize fairly quickly with our breathing, but our bones do not. So suddenly, if it was a 14 and now it's a 13, that's a pound of pressure on every one of those stress fractures, every one of those cracks, every one of those old boo-boos you had 25 years ago where, you know, man, I was in that wreck, 1980 in my shoulder. That's where that comes from. And so that's the reason the old people talked about they could feel the weather changing. Well, I'm here to tell you, Blackie's had a fun and interesting life, and Blackie's had a lot of broke bones in his life. When a hurricane shows up, I'm dying. So please forgive me for being late, but I've been dragging my butt pretty bad here the last couple of days because of this weather. Please leave any questions or comments below, and thank you very much for supporting my channel, guys. Till next time, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.